Just Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue.
Cheesy here.
This week we're celebrating our 100th episode.
100.
We're talking our very favorite.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how old cheese is.
So old.
We're going to talk about the animals that make cheese.
So many.
The grossest cheese.
Ew.
The most interesting cheese crimes.
Yeah.
Cheese competitions.
Ooh.
Lawsuits.
Yeah.
Mongers.
Whoa.
And we're even going to share our very favorite jokes.
Favorite jokes.
Stay tuned for episode 100
100.
on Just Cheesy, the podcast. According to cheese.com, one of our favorite resources,
Oh, yeah.
they talk about how it all started.
Ooh.
According to their article, scientists assume that cheese could go back all the way 8,000 to 10,000 years.
Holy cow.
They believe that cheese dates back to the domestication of animals, primarily sheep.
Whoa.
According to this article, it says that art in Egyptian tombs date back 4,000 years and cheese was found in the art.
Whoa.
They also say that cheese is mentioned in Greek mythology and Sumerian records, and that goes back to 4000 BCE.
Wow.
And according to Wikipedia, there's also evidence of cheese making in archaeological records dating back to 5500 BCE in Poland.
Whoa.
But in any case, it truly, truly impresses me that we're eating foods that have been around for thousands of years.
Yeah.
If you go back to episode 1, we talk about a lot of different animals.
We sure do.
Most of us are familiar with cow's milk, goat's milk, and sheep's milk.
Yeah.
But did you know that water buffaloes have milk that can be made into cheese?
Whoa.
Yaks can be used for cheese.
Whoa.
Moose, reindeer,
Wow.
camels, and even horses.
Horses.
And did you know that they milk donkeys for something called Pule cheese? And that is over $600 a pound.
I knew that.
And did you know some people have even tried to get milk from humans to make into cheese?
Ew.
And did you know some human bacteria was once used to try to make cheese from things like
Yeah.
toe juices and sweat?
Ew. Ew.
I don't know about you, Cheesy, but this podcast has opened my eyes to the weird, wonderful world of cheese.
Oh, yeah.
We figure you all know our favorite gross cheese by now.
Yep.
And that's Casu
Casu
Marzu.
Marzu.
Not only is this bad boy dangerous, but it's also illegal.
Yeah.
It hails from Sardinia.
Yep.
This cheese starts as a normal pecorino.
Yeah, leave it there.
The cheese is left outside.
Yep.
Part of the rind is removed to allow the eggs of cheese flies to be laid in the cheese.
Flies. Flies.
Every time we talk about this cheese, I'm
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
Cheese flies.
Yeah, flies.
Of course, a female one of these flies can lay more than 500 eggs at a time.
500.
And according to Wikipedia, the eggs hatch and the larvae begin to eat through the cheese.
Ew.
And the maggots get in there and their digestive systems break down the cheese's fats.
Blech.
And of course, they say it makes the texture of the cheese very soft.
Who cares?
And according to aficionados, it's considered unsafe when the maggots have died.
Oh, what?
I'm going to quote a lot of the rest of this because I just can't.
Yeah, me neither.
First, they say this cheese could be an aphrodisiac. Doubtful.
No.
Doubtful.
Nope.
And apparently there's a danger because the larvae in the cheese can launch themselves for distances up to 6 inches when they're disturbed.
Holy cow.
It says diners have to hold their hands above a sandwich in order to prevent the maggots from leaping.
For the love of cheese.
And, some people just prefer not to eat them.
Yeah.
So those who prefer not to eat them,
Yeah.
place them in a sealed paper bag.
Oh.
The maggots who are starved for oxygen writhe and jump in the bag,
Oh, my.
creating a pitter-patter sound.
Oh, no.
And it's even possible for the larva to survive in the stomach if you happen to eat this cheese with them alive,
Oh, what?
leading to a condition called pseudomyiasis.
Holy cow.
I try really hard not to be judgmental of certain cheeses,
Yeah.
but this one, I just got to draw a line. This is the grossest thing
Yep.
I've ever heard of in anything we've ever done.
Yep, worst ever.
But if you've ever eaten this cheese, please contact us and let us know what it's like.
Yeah.
Casu Marzu is not a sponsor.
No.
But if it was, the ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah,
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
they do.
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY, that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. One of our other favorite facts comes from tastingtable.com. Cheese is one of the most stolen foods in the whole world.
Whoa.
And that begs the question, why cheese?
Why?
And the article says it's one of the craved items.
Okay.
Crave is an acronym for concealable, removable,
Ooh.
available, valuable,
Oh.
enjoyable, and disposable.
Oh.
And with cheeses like Parmesan, when the whole wheel could be thousands of dollars and even used as collateral in some banks,
Yeah.
you can see why this food would be stolen around the world.
Yeah.
Now, this article goes on to say that 4% of the world's cheese ends up stolen.
Holy cow.
But that has been debated online. But in either case, it is definitely the most stolen food ever.
Whoa.
We want to talk a little bit about one of our favorite challenges.
Oh, yeah.
In Gloucester, England, there is an annual competition called the Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling Race.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's this steep hill.
Yep.
There's a wheel of cheese.
Yep.
They toss the cheese down the hill, and you have to run to try to beat it.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever makes it to the bottom first is the winner.
Yep.
And we talked about this earlier this year, but according to UPI.com, this year's winner was unconscious when
Whoa.
she crossed the finish line.
Oh, no.
They said she woke up in the medical tent.
Medical tent.
So they have a medical tent because this thing is that
Yep.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Medical tent aside, this sport, they say, has a history stretching back to at least 1826.
Holy cow.
But local legend says it began as early as the mid-17th century.
Wow.
Cheese, of course, is no stranger to lawsuits.
Nope.
A pretty frivolous one happened last year.
Yeah.
According to ABAjournal.com, a Florida woman filed a suit against Kraft Heinz.
Oh, no.
It alleged that the company misled its customers because they said the product is ready in 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
She said that this did not include the time to remove the lid and the cheese sauce pouch, add water to the cup,
Oh, boy.
to stir,
Ugh.
and after microwaving, stir in the cheese sauce.
Oh, boy.
She claims she also learned that it will thicken upon standing.
Yeah.
And as of this recording, the lawsuit has been thrown out.
Whew.
You're probably wondering our favorite cheese definition.
Yeah.
Aside from the kind that you eat, our favorite cheese word is cheesemonger.
That's right.
And frankly, this takes us to our favorite ever episode.
Yeah.
It was in season 1, episode 16 that I feel like we
Yep.
caught our stride.
I agree.
We talked a little bit about that very cheesemonger. And like everything else on this podcast, we learned a lot.
Yeah, we did.
I never knew what a monger was.
Nope, me neither.
And a monger, according to Merriam-Webster, is someone who actually is a broker or dealer.
Yep.
So a cheesemonger peddles cheese, a fishmonger peddles fish,
There we go.
and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as we were catching our stride, we were not as good at editing at the time. So if you're
Yep.
a little averse to some mouth noises, this is probably not the episode for you, unless you like ASMR,
Yep.
perhaps.
Mm.
But we definitely really enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah, we did.
And before we tell our joke this week, I wanted to let you know my personal favorite joke.
Ooh, what is it?
What is a pirate's favorite cheese?
What?
Cheddar.
Oh, my gosh. No.
I don't know what makes me laugh about that. It's
don't
probably
either.
the dumbest one we've ever done,
Yep.
but I absolutely love it.
It really is.
What's your favorite joke, Cheesy?
What do you call vegan cheesecake?
I don't know.
Cake.
Oh, that one was good.
I'm ready for the real joke, Fondue.
Why was the joke for the 100th episode the best cheese joke ever?
I don't know.
Because it was so funny, it blew everyone's mind. It was silly.
Yep.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
And of course, it was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the podcast for 100 episodes.
100.
Thanks for coming along with us to learn about cheese.
Yeah.
We look forward to learning together in the future.
Yep.
Here's to the next 100 episodes.
And stay cheesy, everybody.